Hi everyone, today is January 9th, 2024, and today we traded NEXI, which is a little ticker that we've really had a blast trading off and on for the past 10 days or so. We have really loved this little stock because it offers such an incredible range whenever it sets up and hits our scanners. And in this video today, I wanted to show you the strategy and the algo that I have developed, which really has been flawless for us. You know, the power of it to be able to ramp up our accuracy and profitability has really just been blowing our socks off. So I wanted to show this to you and how to use it. So let's dive right in, okay? So this is our NEXI chart and how it looks with our algos. NEXI is a previous runner, so we already had these lines on our charts from previous days. These have been on here for about almost 2 weeks. As you can see, it made this nice little move right at opening bell. It started around $8 and went all the way up to $15 in just less than 10 minutes. That's really good range. Like I said, once this thing gets going, it is a gift. So I missed this first. This was a low volume pop. It did put it on my scanner, but it was pretty low volume. So what I decided to do, since I knew this was a previous runner and it would get other traders' attention, once it hit this target, it needed to come down and find support, give me an alert and set up, and I would take it back to this same level. These are targets. And if you don't know how I get these lines on here, these are based on historical levels. And I always give my trade group members these levels every morning whenever I set up our watch list. So they know what to plan for and how much money they're going to make on each trade. As long as the trend down here shows strength, they'll stay in the trade to the target. Pretty simple and straightforward, and it's easy to read this without error. I missed this first one, but it put it on my scanner, so I was just ready. I was waiting for the next alert that we had and the signal. And that came in for me at 8:20 this morning, my time, on this candle here, right here. My signal is, first off, I'll have this bubble, which gives me a ring alert. It's an audio alert. It gets my attention. I come and I look at my chart and I see if everything agrees. Well, at this point, yes, I had an alert here. I had a signal, but you can't rely on these entirely. In fact, these repaint sometimes. So I need a confirmation, and down here was my confirmation. What I look for down here is either a white bar crossing this horizontal white line like this, or this green line crossing that. So we had that on this candle, the green line crossed, and this is the strongest signal right here, this green line crossing the zero line, that white horizontal line. And with my other confirmation of this bubble, I was just going to get in and let it continue to show me the trend. I knew this might be a level here. This line, since it's a target, it's a historical turning point or a resistance level. It might reject there. I was going to monitor, make sure it held my EMAs and how this thing down here looked. As long as it continued to point up and be strong, I would stay with it. So I was in the trade, got in at 8:20 my time this morning at $12.86. I sold right at my target right here. Actually, I got out a little bit higher at $15.26. The target line is $15.10, but I got out a little bit higher than that. Even though things kind of still look strong down here, we still had everything pointing up and everything was set up, and it did pop higher. I get out because there is no guarantee past these levels. Usually I do see them frequently go past my targets, and that's okay. I'm conservative with my target, and you don't want to be greedy with this, especially since it had already tested this level already. So this was test number 2. Most of the time you only get like 3 tests at the most, and it'll either break out or break down after the 3rd test. So I don't push my luck. I get out at my target, and that was a $2.40 profit right there. That was a beautiful little trade. Now we have to come back down to support. Now support's usually the 50 EMA. Sometimes it's the 200. You just have to kind of let it tell you what it's going to do. So the 50 EMA is this dark blue, kind of hard to see, but it's not this lighter blue, but this darker blue moving average. All right. So what I look for again is this bubble, right? And it rings my computer. I get a ring alert. So I hear it. It gets my attention. I come and I look. I want to confirm down here. I look for 2 different things. I either want these white bars crossing above this white horizontal zero line right over here. See, this is a zero line. And we had that here after a bubble, one of these alert bubbles. This thing down here I also have created, so it will ring alert as as well. But I confirm down here. This usually fires off first up here, and I'll look down here. Do I have some kind of a cross, either the white bar or the green line crossing that white line? So those are the two things that I look for down here, and up here it's just this bubble. If I get that set up, I'm going to take it to my line, and I'm only going to take it to this line because this is a resistance line. It's already tested it. 1, 2, this is the third test, right? It's either going to break out or break down, but if it crosses here and we get a bubble, it's going to go to this line. So getting in my second trade was at 9:13 this morning, bought at the $14.30. My target again was $15.10, but I actually got out at $15.24. So I made 94 cents on that trade. I'm up really well so far on this day. Only 2 trades. And you see that only took like 7 minutes for that trade. Okay, so the next thing, we hit a target, it has to come down, find support. Well, here it broke the 50 EMA. Right? Price broke through that, came down to this white line that I drew, right? I drew this like 10 days ago, and look how it respected that line. You see how important these lines are? And these are lines that I give my trade group members in the trade plan room. I give these levels to them every day with my watch list. So they don't have to go and figure all this out. They just wait for the signal on their chart. Okay, so here we had a signal. We had a bubble here. I come down here and I see if it matches. We had a white bar, but we were below the 50 EMA. So my rule is I don't usually like to trade when price is trending below the 50 EMA, and especially if it's kind of below a previous level, white line, right? And here it was kind of hovering there. I guess I could have got in there, but that would have been more risky. So we wait until this cross, right? This green line crossing that white horizontal right here. That's where we get in. And at 10:13 that occurred, 10:13 this morning, and the price we bought at $13.71. Again, taking it to this 15.10 level. I actually get out at 15.05 this time, so a little bit less than my target, but that was my choice. Things still looked pretty good there, but it was proving resistance really strong. I mean, it tried here, it tried here, it tried here, here. I mean, how many times? So then it broke down, it came back down to the 50, broke below the 50 EMA again. And here we were trying to get a reclaim. We had a white bar here after a bubble. And that's why I drew this oval, this shaded oval, to say, hey, this is a signal, but it's below the 50. I didn't like it. And by the time it was above the 50, I knew that it had already tested that level. 1, 2, 3, 4 forever here. This would be the 5th time this morning. So I wasn't at all surprised when it did hit it, but then it rejected. You see this rejection candle? It went up to $15.16 all the way down to $13.13. So like a $2 move in 1 minute. That's dramatic, and you don't want to get stuck in that, because if your order got filled up here in this $15 range, you're already in pain. It did not ever get back up to your entry, and it's just downhill from there, right? So that's how this works. And if you trade with these levels that I put on your chart every morning, and the watch list that I give you, the levels that I give you, and these algos that make it so easy just to sit and listen for the ring alerts, and then just double check down here. Is it going to go? Yeah, it's going to go. Take it to your target. Don't press your luck. Don't try to be greedy and expect it to go beyond, because we do have another target up here, right? But let's just take it to our target. If you have to just scalp a little, scalp whatever you can, but don't think you're going to ride it to the moon, because these don't always go to the moon. In fact, it's very rare for that to happen. But anyway, if you need some help with your trading to become more profitable, to increase your accuracy to above 90%, if you need a good watch list every morning to be able to trade the most profitable stocks every single day, the ones that are going to make you some money, and then some guidance on how to trade those with the right algos, the right signals. We even have audio news alerts. We have AI scanners. We have everything. So if you need that, join our little trading group. I'll give you all the tools that we're using. I'll give mentoring 24/7, and you're going to be profitable with us. So check us out at momentumstocktraders.com. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll talk soon.